everybody, welcome back. My name is Curseof, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to Season 3 of Is This Viable? And with every season of Is This Viable, we are once again here with the one, the only, the god of speed duels, Terramaster.
Yes, the divine presence has once again descended upon curseof Yugioh. Thank you for having me. Thank you for that introduction. Let's talk about new cards.
Yeah, so for the first episode of Is This Viable, we decided to go with something we felt like is actually viable. So hopefully we're correct. But the first card we chose here is none other than Amazonas Queen, one of the secret rares revealed here. And this is the only new piece of Amazonas support we know, but it's a pretty decent one. Do you want to go ahead and tell them why, Terramaster?
Okay, so the card text on Amazonas Queen simply states Amazonas monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And this includes itself and other Amazonas monsters you control. What this does is the Amazonas deck right now in Speed Duel isn't like the worst thing in the world because it has a very good monster, which is Swordswoman.
Yes.
It has a decent spell card, which is Village. It was missing a boss monster.
Exactly.
Which is Amazonas Queen, which gives you that. And in a recent stream, which you were there for, I explained there's two things that makes boss monsters good. One of them was being sticky, and not being able to be destroyed by battle is pretty sticky.
Very sticky.
So there you go. Good boss monster means potentially good deck.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's 2,400. It's 2,600 under Village. And the big thing, which you already brought up, is that it pairs phenomenally with Amazonas Swordswoman. Because any damage you would take, your opponent takes, and it can't be killed by battle when you have a queen on board.
Right. No, it's really good. It's really solid. The synergy it has with Village too is, say they can't destroy a battle, so say they offerings the queen or something. Okay, I have Village. I can float into another queen.
Yeah, just going back to that thing where you mentioned these monsters got to be sticky, and Village makes it that much more sticky. Plus, we actually have a consistency card for Village because we have Metaverse, and it's not at 3 anymore. Thank God.
Oh, yeah. Really, though, like, having Metaverse means, first of all, you don't have to play 3 copies of Village, which is absurd.
Yes.
Because you're far less likely to brick on it.
Yep.
And the Metaverse becoming a battle phase thing is also so good, right? If I had Metaverse already set, I can attack, and opponent will be like, what? And then I'll go like battle step,
Yeah.
and slap the Metaverse down. Or opponent activates offerings when I attack, and then I chain the Metaverse, and now when the chain resolves, Village is active. So there's so many things you can do with that combo. It's really good.
It's really funny, actually. For this deck, I think Metaverse is honestly better than having Village in your hand because the surprise factor is so huge, and it can also play around the Izana effect, which is very, very relevant. Metaverse is just like such a good card for certain decks. Does not need to be at 3. Don't take such a good card to literally our field spells are not that crazy.
Right. This is probably the first time Metaverse has had this much potential, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into the deck here and get into the card by card. So starting off, we have none other than the boss monster herself, 3 copies of Amazonas Queen. 3 copies because you really want to see this to facilitate your strategy. And, well, you want to be able to float into 1 off a Village. So 1 is not enough.
No, 1 is definitely not enough. And without having the ability to search it,
Yep.
2 might mean you never see it, which is why we decided to go with 3.
Yeah, there's definitely arguments that can be made for 2, but 1 is never correct. At least not in this build. So
No, not at
3
all.
Amazonas Queen, and then the third best Amazonas monster to help facilitate the Queen, Amazonas Spy.
Yeah. Looking through our Amazonas pool, this was the special summon.
Yep.
So this is your instant queen if you draw them both together.
Yep.
But in addition to that, it's also an additional float with Village. And it's also a late game card which could come up where you can recycle a swordswoman or a queen if you so wish to.
Yeah, so overall, it's like Terramaster said, it's our special summon. It's the third best Amazonas monster we have, and yeah, we just kind of want another target off the Swordswoman. You can go through your Swordswomans decently fast if your opponent is playing correctly and you want to have another target, and being able to recycle is so huge because this deck's win con is still Swordswoman, so if you go through 3, you can struggle to win, so being able to get it back is very relevant.
Yeah, and just sometimes a special summon is honestly all you need from it.
Yep.
So there's also that.
And naturally, 3 copies of Swordswoman, the best Amazonas monster, honestly.
Yep, it's your best normal summon.
Yep.
It's your best like not boss monster. Like it's funny to say like your boss monster is in your win condition, but usually it's not.
Yes.
It's the swordswoman, which is just a support, which is just kind of weird. It's like they kind of support each other in a way, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of swordswoman, it's so good that we play 5.
We do. That's right.
Yeah, so
How
2
do we
copies
do that?
of Giant Rat here. This can float into Swordswoman. It can also float into Spy if you do want to do that, if you're in a late game situation. But 9 times out of 10, you're just going for that Swordswoman and getting your Amazonas engine online.
Yeah, I think Rat also adds more survivability, which is that your village is good, but having the Rat there is also an additional like, hey, even if you don't have village or metaverse, you have more options to just survive, which is very important in a deck like this.
Definitely, and you guys will see in the replays too, there's many situations where either we don't have village or village is a little bit too easy to stop with a swordswoman because there's back row removal, there's cosmic, people can play breaker if they pick that as their 3 of. Well, Rat, unless you have Banisher, you're not stopping the Rat effect.
No, yeah. And you'll see that the Banisher Rat interaction did come up as well.
Yeah.
In the replays, but only that being the counter for 2 of your cards is fine. You will never have a situation, or I won't say never. It's very rare to have a situation where a Banisher doesn't hurt your deck at all.
Yes.
So having it hurt you only for your floating is probably just fine.
Yeah, I would. I definitely be inclined to agree. But yeah, so we have 4 copies of Amazonas Village, 2 as a trap and 2 as a field spell.
Yep.
Naturally. We have Berserk Scales here, which is a recommendation from the master craftsman himself, Terramaster. Terramaster, why Berserk Scales?
Because Swordswoman. So
there you go.
I mean, does anything else need to be said? There's really like 2 good reasons for this. One is Queen sometimes needs the extra boost to get over something, right? Like your opponent has a boosted E to 10, which you need to attack over for some reason, right? You've whittled down their life points to just enough, right? It can be a niche use for that. But getting over Banisher with either Rat or Swordswoman can be very helpful because it just pops the rest of your deck off. Oh yeah, and the Spy. Hey, I didn't think of that. Woo, okay.
But yeah, Berserk Scales. It's that nice battle trick, gets you over things, and losing attack is great if you have a swordswoman.
Yep, it's amazing with the swordswoman. It's also not the worst thing ever with the queen, because 1400 came to disturb a battle. Okay, sure, I'll just switch to the defense next turn. That's not a big deal.
Exactly. Naturally, the 3 of the pairs of this deck is 3 copies of Floodgate Trap Hole, hitting into like stuck in defense position monsters with a swordswoman is a win con. Period.
100%. And if you floodgate something that's big enough for you to do damage and you need 1,000 extra damage, that's another use. Just Berserk Scales for fun in your opponent's end phase, and now you're gonna hit into that defense mode monster for game.
Exactly. So. And you know what plays a lot of really big defense monsters?
What's that?
Cyber Angels.
That's impossible.
Nah, it's impossible.
Nobody's ever been able to do that.
And the only other card here to mention is the card that should have never been printed in Speed Duels and pairs really well with Amazonas Swordswoman. That is Zoma. It wins you games for no reason.
Yep, I mean, you just play Zoma because it's there. There's no, you don't need to really talk about it. There you go. Yeah.
Essentially, our sideboard here, to just not spend too much time on it because the format changes, is 3 back row removal, 1 in a monster, and 3 CA answers.
Yeah. Nah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's that easy. I don't know how good Lava Golem is personally, but it just fits in with the Queen and the Swordswoman.
Yeah.
Right? You summon a Lava Golem. Now they can't kill it can't kill anything you have by battle. You summon a Lava Golem, you're constantly slamming your Swordswoman into it for damage, and they're also taking damage from its effect. So it just seems like an easy synergy card if your opponent is consistently on a deck that summons 2 monsters, which Cyber Angels do like to do.
Yes, definitely. And another big reason why we play Lava Golem on the sideboard is because of the only card we haven't mentioned in this deck yet that's actually relevant, which is the skill card, Shadow Reborn.
Yep. So
use up your normal summon? Not a problem. Flip up Shadow Reborn, pay half your life points, get back a Swordswoman, get back a rat, get back anything.
Yep.
You have a monster, you have a body on board.
Yep. Also makes Queen less bricky inherently because if you don't have anything on the field, you can just bring back something as tribute fodder as long as you have a monster in your graveyard.
Yeah, so to facilitate Queen, we have floaters in Rat, we have floating in Village, we have special summoning in Spy, and we have special summoning in Shadow Reborn, plus you can always sack a Zoma. So lots of ways to get Queen on board, and she's your only tribute monster in the deck.
Yep. And the extra deck, as you can see, is just the monsters with the word 1000 in their name. So that's all that is.
Yeah, moving off into the matchups here. The very first one, and the most relevant one at the moment, we'll talk about is Cyber Angels.
Yes. This was the reason we chose to do this deck first.
Yes.
Was its ability, in theory, which plays out actually in gameplay, which you probably see some of right now, is its ability to put up a good fight and sometimes beat Cyber Angels.
Yeah, Queen is annoying.
Yeah, Queen is very annoying. They have to have exactly Share the Pain, and if Queen is paired with another monster, then that doesn't even work.
Yep. And
if that's paired with like Floodgate and Village and Berserk Scales and Zoma, well, sometimes you will win.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. There's not much more to say to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like Queen because they can't get to your life points. They don't like Swordswoman because they take damage, and they don't like taking damage because now their cosmics are all of a sudden much worse, as I found out while I was playing Cyber Angels.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm running out of life points. So this deck does frustrate your opponents. If you get their life points low enough, it's really annoying to play against.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it. The whole deck is built around the fact that Queen is a problem for CAs, and the deck is inherently decent against a lot of other matchups. So the CA matchup, I won't say is favored for this deck, because you guys can see in the replays, the deck did lose both matches, but it did manage to take a game, and it did feel decently even depending on which deck opened better and which deck went second.
Yes, and one other thing to keep in mind, this is just a first draft build.
Yes.
Right? This deck could be optimized, obviously, and the fact that it puts up a fight without any kind of like extensive testing and optimization is a really good sign too.
Yes, no, extremely good. And yeah, that's something that I should definitely mention, and I'll probably put it up in every video if I remember. These decks have testing, but very minimal. They can be optimized much beyond what me and Terramaster have done here. This is just a sample and a guide for you guys to take if you want to play around with it yourself, and hopefully we'll get more cards and it can become better anyway.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of the point, right? If Queen alone makes the deck playable and allows you to put up a fight against the other best decks in the format, then imagine if we just get like 2 more good cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's kind of the hope here, is just a couple more good cards, Konami. Doesn't have to be 20. Just a couple more.
But yeah, so the only other matchup here to mention, at least at the moment, is the beatdown matchup, which is fine minus Banisher, and the fact that because your opponent's monsters are big, but not super big, you're not really always dealing much damage with Swordswoman. Yeah,
and that turned out to be the biggest problem that your damage output was too slow. You would lose monsters to them attacking all the time. They do have outs for village. They have typically side dust. If sometimes some players do main it. We personally don't like that. We like siding it. So yeah, Joey is a little bit of a problem, especially when they are good at calling their Juragumo coin flips.
Tails.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still not like a completely horrible matchup. Like you can still beat it sometimes, which
Yes.
again is an excellent sign for just hope for this deck.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, this is a build that is not tailored to beat the Joey matchup, like, by any means. And it can still pick up wins, which is very, very huge, very, very relevant. The deck has a lot of potential there with just Queen, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. So like whether that last card, whatever the last couple of cards, whether that's a consistency card like Amazoness Call, whether that's another really good Amazoness monster, whatever that is, whether that's just, you know, another an Amazoness trap card, which the only one we have is absolutely unplayable.
Archers.
So yes, archers. So just a Amazoness trap card, right? Like not onslaught, but like willpower, which is just called a haunted for Amazoness, right? Just that would be like, okay, maybe I don't have to play Shadow Reborn anymore, and I can play whatever Amazoness skill comes out, if that's even like halfway decent. So just getting Queen as if it was, we're acting like it's a promo card like Jinzo was back in the day,
Yeah.
making the deck like, oh, this is worth testing, this is worth trying to optimize. That's gotta make us feel really good as people hoping for the new cards to make an impact.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely very, very exciting. Nice to see that new cards are doing something already with nothing beyond the secrets. But in case we haven't given it away already, I'm gonna ask you here, Terra Master, is Amazoness Queen viable?
Yes!
Let's go!
Woo, we did it. We got a yes on the first one.
Our first win of the Is This Viable season. Let's go.
Yep. Surely we won't be wrong like we were last time.
Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed episode 1 of season 3 of Is This Viable. If you guys did, go ahead and leave a like down below. Likes go a very long way, would be greatly appreciated. And go check out the Team JDG YouTube channel, also linked down in the description. They upload a lot of content, and it's a lot of good content and fun content. So go check it out. What are you doing? Stop wasting time. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later for another video. Peace.